Hi, my name is Sally Barnard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. It's time to trust your intuition. This is your inner knowings. Through questions and points of conversation, I can help others feel empowered. With the ability to touch people's past lives, I help others connect and not feel alone. Sit with me and call in live, 888-994-4995. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Here I am at the studio again at my new time of at 2:30. We have a nice amount of people in the studio here, so any questions, here I am to answer them. So here we go. Anybody in the studio that would like to start off with a question for me?
Past lives.
Yes, that's perfect. I love that. Thank you, Sandy. What question do you have for me?
Well, I'll ask about myself if nobody else is going to ask.
Okay. If you give me the question, that's how my guides work. I need the question, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I know I've had more than one life, so
Okay.
I don't know what the last one was, but I think they're all correlated somehow.
I feel that your last one actually was not that long ago. I'm talking about maybe like the 18th century. I have a feeling, I feel that you were actually very spiritually involved in that lifetime. I've only just met you, as you know, but I feel that this is a continuation in this life for you. You were very spiritually awakened in that lifetime. I think you know that. It's coming to me. When I get my goosebumps, that's my validation. So I feel that I'm validating that for you. Okay. You're continuing from that lifetime into this lifetime. And I've only just met you, but I feel that what you have been doing is the continuation, so to speak, because you had mentioned the tarot. You're on the right track. Please continue with that, okay? That's what you've left off in that lifetime, okay? If that makes sense. My guides always say, if that makes sense to you. I'm actually channeling, but people are not necessarily always aware of that.
Thank you. That's good.
Sally, can you see who her guide is?
That's what I want to know so bad.
Who's Sandy's guide?
Who Sandy's guide is?
I tried so hard to find out.
I'm feeling that it's someone, the Hopi Indians. My guide actually is from the Hopi Indians, White Feather. But I feel there's a connection there with you. I don't know if that feels comfortable with you. There's something, I'm not sure of actually to give the name, although I have done that in previous shows. I think we need a little time because it's like they're bringing him in for you here. But I feel that it's a Hopi Indian.
Hopi?
Yes, we have many guides, as you are probably aware of. But this particular one is the one that's coming to me right now. But maybe if you wait a few minutes and we'll go into more of that later on in the show.
Good.
Okay?
You think it's a male guide?
It's a male guide.
I think it is too.
My guide from the Hope is White Feather, and I've had many validations from him. I feel that they know each other. I also feel, as I had said to you, this is not coincidental that you're sitting here now. So I feel that the guides work with us and they're bringing your guide in. It's not White Feather, that's my white, but let's give him a little time to get accustomed to what's going on with the show here.
I'm going to write it down, his name.
I had a question. So,
Can you speak up just a little?
just two-part, but the first one is trying to figure out who my guides are too, and as well as that tying into my second question, like my life is kind of going like this. Like I'm growing up, but like it seems like I'm kind of learning. I don't know. I can't put it, but it's going
Well,
like.
all I can tell you is that we have a lot of guides here in the Brooklyn Cafe. They've come and joined us here because we're all wanting to know who our guides are, okay? And that's good. We all have guides, but we're not always aware of our guides. So your guide is with you right now from last week, and they're very aware that you're sitting here, okay? Because I am in a trance, I don't remember exactly the messages that I gave you, but what I gave you was very accurate. So they're wanting me to tell you that they are still with you, and the questions that you may ask, just listen because you're able to do that. And that's the way that we can kind of validate that they're around us. Go with which I always say, with your gut. That's our way of knowing that they're around us. So if you ask a question to your guide, you will get the answer. Okay?
Thank you.
I have a question.
Back in my 20s, I had visions all the time. I'd see everything before it happened, and then it went away, but it comes back every so often. And I do feel like this is my last time around. I've been here many lifetimes and very involved spiritually. So just, do you feel those abilities coming back strongly in my life? And do you feel like I'm going to keep ascending in the spiritual realm of, helping people and healing them?
Absolutely. I get my validation because I get goosebumps and I'm getting them right now. Absolutely. You're here to help people right now in this lifetime, and I think you've definitely woken up to that, so you know what I'm talking about, okay? Continue on your journey. You are helping people. We need more people to know what's going on here, to wake more people up, and you are definitely one of the people that are here right now to do that, and I think you know that, correct? So just continue with what you're doing. You're on the right track. That's what I'm hearing, okay? You're here, you're doing the right thing, and I've been doing this now for 18 years. I don't expect everybody to believe what I'm doing, but the most important thing is to continue with your message, and that's what I'm giving right now. I actually channel from my guides, and they're telling me, keep going on with what you're doing. You are on the right track, if that makes sense to you.
And do you see, are you able to see?
My guide as well.
I do. I'm actually seeing, there's a man and a woman, but the one that's coming through strongly is actually the woman right now. She's here. She's actually saying to you right now, she's protecting you, if that makes any sense to you. I feel that there's a protection around you.
I've been
Feeling this the last few weeks.
Yeah, and you need this protection. Just know that it's not, I'm not here, I'm a very positive person, so I'm not here to give you any negativity, but acknowledge the fact that she is protecting you right now. You need that, okay?
I just got goosebumps myself on my right arm.
Okay, there you go. So that's the connection that I'm getting with her. She's with you, and anything that you think that should you do something or whatever it is, or you feel something isn't quite, the word they're telling me is gelling with you, ask her, because she's here to protect you right now, okay, if that makes sense to you.
Makes sense, because I felt that strong feeling of being protected, like in
You are.
everything that I've been doing.
I'm totally with goosebumps all over me.
And I feel it's a woman's too, it's spot on.
It's a woman, yes, it's a woman.
All my life.
I'm not actually getting her name for some right. She wants her anonymity, if that makes sense to you.
be my grandmother.
Okay, but she's with you, okay? If you feel that, that's your gut and that's what's following, that's good. You're understanding that, and I know that you do because I can feel that connection here. Okay, so just go with your gut and listen to her, and with your first thought, which I know that you know, go with what she's saying to you.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Sally.
Hi.
What's my guide saying for me today? 'Cause
No
lately I've
different to last week, okay? They are with you. You go with what you feel is correct. Don't let anyone diversify you from what you're doing, okay? If you get messages sometimes and you're with someone and it's not what you feel is what you want to do, stand by, they're saying stand by your own conviction, okay? Does that make sense to you? Continue with it, okay? They're with you, they're helping you, and they're still with you, okay? They haven't left you.
I have a question. I've had a lot of repetitive dreams, and it's always the same, and it makes me a lot of confusion. And when I was like trying to meditate and find out about my guides, this guy came through, and he was a heavy-set guy, and he had a beard. And I remember he was sitting on the ground, and he said to me, he said, "Let life live," because that's what I wasn't doing at that time. And he always stuck in my mind, and I don't know what the reason was, or.
Okay, he's your protector. I'm getting the name Alfie for some reason.
Alfie?
Alfie, yes. I don't know if that rings a bell with you in any way, but he wants me to tell you that his name is Alfie. He's here and he's protecting you.
Okay.
Listen to him. You're able to do this too. I have a few people in the studio that I know that are able to do this. He actually has a little beard. I don't know if you know that or if you're aware of that.
He does, yeah. I know he does.
So I have the right person. His name is Alfie. Thank him for being with you. He's helping you. He knows what's going on in your life.
It did have a lot of calming when he said that. It like kind of calmed me down.
He's with you right now. He's right
Thank
here in
you.
the studio.
Good.
This studio is becoming very well known to the spirit world.
spiritual
Dawn.
here.
Yes, I have to tell you that, Dawn. They are gathering here, okay? Hi, everybody. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question. My name is Vanessa. Both my parents have passed away. My dad has been gone for 10 years now, and my mom for 6. And sometimes I feel the presence, and sometimes I don't. And I want to know if they're with me, if they're watching over me, if they still have my back in a way. Like sometimes they come, sometimes they don't, and I just wonder. And
They're actually with you all the time. Just know that. So if you have anything or something that's going on in your life, they don't leave you. I'm not saying that it's like here. They're not always around you all the time, but all you need to do is ask and they will present themselves to you. Yes, they are here, and you know that because you've been hearing from them. So talk to them just like you would with us. Just if you have something going on in your life, and then trust your own feeling, your gut, and that is go with the first feeling that you feel from them, and that will be your answer.
thank you.
Miss Zena?
Hi.
Hey. I wanted you to tell me, like, what do you feel spiritually when you look at me? What do you feel from my presence?
I feel that you don't completely trust this. I don't know if that's a feeling, but you want to understand more, and they're trying very hard to relay messages to you. Does that ring true to you at all? Just know that you are on the right track. They're giving you messages. The only way that I can tell you this is go ask a question, just like you're talking to me, and go with your gut, with the answer. You are able to do this, and the fact that you're on this show and you're talking to me, they are delighted, because now I'm telling you, listen to your inner self and they will give you the messages, okay? But trust it. I feel that you're on the borderline here. I don't know if that's correct, but just continue because they are with you, okay? Can you feel that now? Okay, you can, yes? Good. Okay, continue with that feeling because they are with you and they will help you. Okay? Good.
Sally, how do we receive guides, messages from our guides? How do we hear them or see them?
Exactly, actually, just what I was saying, Dawn. It's not just me. We can all do this, and I've said this before on my shows. Believe it. So you go with what your gut feeling tells you. So just like you're asking me the question, continue and ask your guides the question. They will, they're around you. Just let them know, just say, I know you're with me. What would you give me the answer to my question? Ask the question just like you're talking to me. And I'm not always here to tell you exactly what's going on, but they will. Just listen to your gut. Go with the first. It's an intuition, it's telepathy. They're here to help you, and they will. They will.
I feel like I have a female guide right here.
You do. You do. Okay. And we have a lot in common here, Dawn, and I feel that too. And this is someone, and I'm going to relate it personally to both of us. This is going back from the centuries that we know that we were together in. And she is with you. She's with you most of the time right now because you're on the verge of something which I have said to you too, of breaking out into something so much bigger. In fact, we just had that conversation. Just know that she's with you. So ask, I'm getting her name. I don't know if this means anything. Elizabeth, her name is. Talk to her. I don't know if that means anything to you, Dawn, but I feel very strongly when you're talking to her, mention her name, and she's around you, so she knows you're talking. Ask the question, and you can do this. Just go with your gut and go with what she's answering. And you have me anyway. You can call me up.
But she's from a past life.
She's
not
from
this
a
current
past life. She's from the life, and if you don't mind me airing this on the show, that we were together in the Renaissance period, and there was Elizabeth. She's wanting to tell me it's not Elizabeth, it's Elizabeth, and you will hear that. You will hear it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying she'll guide me.
She's telling me, she's going, what did you just stop for right now? Continue telling her. Yes, she's guiding you, Dawn. She's guiding you in the right direction. So whatever your gut feels that you feel that you want to ask her and say, am I doing the right thing? And you know how to do this. Just know, and you'll get the goosebumps just like I do. She's with you all the time. And she's with you right now.
She's
yes.
right there on
She's
my
right
left side.
on your right-hand side here,
Yep.
okay? Okay, she's here. I can actually see her, and I don't usually see, I feel, but I can see her. She's got long curly hair, okay? Oh my gosh, am I getting goosebumps for you, okay? So just know anything that you want to know, she's here to guide you,
Yeah,
okay?
so I think that leads to the question, our guides can come from our past lives. They're not necessarily just our grandparents from this life.
Most definitely, yes, because if you, which I do, and I think most people probably in the studio believe in reincarnation, we are reincarnated, and many times we stay with our soul family. So they've been various different, as I call them, characters in our last lives. So they continually show up. We're with them. So yes, there have been many different people in our lives. We stay together. We add new people, but we stay basically together.
Okay, for me, do you get any messages or past lives? Just my presence?
Well, I'm not getting a strong message. I mean, when I feel this, I have to let you know what I'm feeling. However, yes, you've had, but I don't think you've had too many we've had many past lives. I think you're kind of what I would call a newcomer.
And I've heard
You
that
feel
before.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you're a newcomer to the existence of the illusion, but you are a newcomer to Earth. You've been here a few times. We've been here many times. You're learning. You're here to learn more right now in this life, and they are helping you. If that, I feel that you feel
No,
what
yes,
I'm saying.
because it's the same with my family. Like, I feel like I'm the only one in my family constantly getting, like, lessons and, like...
You're here to
You know
learn.
what it is?
Continue. You're on the right track. Even asking me the questions on this show, it's a good thing for you. Because being a newcomer doesn't mean that you're a newcomer in the illusion. It means that you've come from another planet. But you've been on Earth a few times, and you're here to learn more. This is a hard lesson here to learn, okay? You know that, and you know that, okay? But we're in the right place. None of this is coincidental.
And how would you help people dealing with grief?
That's a difficult question, Dawn, because everybody takes grief differently. I mean, as people and my viewers know, I lost my daughter close to nearly a year ago. And all that I know, it's helped me overcome a lot of the grief. I still mourn for her because she's not here. But just knowing and beginning to wake up that there's so much more. I know from everything that I believe that my daughter is in a better place. So I'm not going to sit here and cry because she passed away. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt me, but I feel that she doesn't want me to know that. So just knowing that the grief of losing someone is that they are okay, as far as I know, okay? And I can only go by what I know, but this is what I believe. They want us to be happy. So if we're grieving and continually thinking of that person all the time, they're not able to leave us. Let them go a little bit and let them enjoy where they are, but also know that they're okay. And that helps with our grief, if that helps you a little bit.
Did your daughter used to daisies?
Yes, she did, very much so. And I feel that there is a connection with the daisies because we were on a cruise a little while ago, and one of my guides is White Feather, and I actually sent you the daisies. We were on somewhere in the ruins, somewhere in Spain, and I see all the daisies with a white feather. So that was my validation. Yes, she did. She liked daisies. We used to make daisy chains when she was a little girl. Yes. So she's still doing that.
She's still picking daisies.
She
with
is,
you.
yes. Thank you, Dawn.
Right now, I feel like I'm full.
You're what?
Like I'm full.
You're full?
Yeah, like I'm picking up on a lot of energies.
Okay.
What would that be?
Yes, but we have to also, with the energies that we pick up, we have to, just like here, there's a lot of people talking to us. This is what I'm hearing from them. We pick on the people that we need to talk to. Sometimes it can be a group of people, but the best way to do that is decipher the person. In other words, ask the question, and the person that can give the answer will come forward. We sometimes have a lot of people, just like here, wanting to talk to us, but they're coming up with different points of view. So this is what I'm feeling very strongly. Ask your question, and the person that's wanting to answer that question will come through. So go with your first person, in other words, your gut, that they're telling you and giving you the answer. Does that make sense?
Like,
That's my guide saying, one of my guides always says, does that make sense?
Like I feel like I don't need to sleep.
You don't need to sleep? Yes, you do need to sleep. I need to tell you that. You absolutely do need to sleep. And I felt that when you first walked in, because I think one of the things that you said is that you hadn't slept since Saturday. They're telling me, stop this, cut this out, go to sleep, okay? I'm sorry, I'm only telling you and passing on what I'm hearing. You need your sleep. We all need to rest. It's very, very important.
Do you think some of the things that we fear of are due to our past lives that are coming through? I can always see myself sometimes, let's say I'm walking and I can see, even though if there's no stairs, I can see stairs, I'm on the top and I'm falling down and I can control the fall.
Okay, yes. Our past lives, I'm getting the word bleeding into, I don't usually say that, into this lifetime. But we've had many, many, many different lives. But the ones that are important and relevant to this lifetime, we will get them through dreams. It's our subconscious or our superconscious, and it will bring it up. The fact that you feel, can you just give me the end of that question again? I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm gonna fall down the stairs. There cannot even be stairs in there, but I can picture myself, I can see myself falling down the stairs. And I wonder is that fear or that the visions come from a past life.
Yes, they absolutely are.
To me.
And I can relate to that too, because I don't like heights. And before I even understood this, I couldn't go too high up. I know that I fell from something. It doesn't mean that you're going to fall again in this lifetime, but it's a form of a karma. We still have some of that. So once you become aware of that, just know that where you're going, you're not going to fall. You say to yourself, and it applies to me too, because I've fallen and broken both shoulders because I didn't listen to myself, okay? But I know that I'm done with that now. So this is from a previous life. But just say to yourself, I'm done with this. I'm not falling. I'm not going to fall down the stairs. And then you will correct it, if that makes sense to you.
Okay, thank you.
Sally, what advice would you give to someone who is just beginning their journey into spirituality, mediumship, or psychic?
Beautiful. I love that question because there are many people that are just beginning to wake up to this. I did 18 years ago, and as I have said before on the show, that I was very stubborn. But once I began to open up to it, just know and believe this, because that's when you will get the messages. If you say to yourself, I don't believe any of this, it won't happen. But if you're aware of it, believe it, and you will see certain things that will happen to you. And you'll say, well, is that coincidence? No, it's not. We're given many messages. We just don't always listen to our messages. So if that's happening and someone's beginning to receive messages, And it'll be something that will validate maybe something that's gone in our life, or a name. We can turn a TV, just from me, I know that I would mention a name, I would turn the television on and there was the name. We get subtle messages. Just know that it exists, believe that it exists, and then it can take you to amazing places.
What happens if you see a gold ring, and not like but like a gold ring around someone?
A gold ring?
Yeah, like you can't see it, but yeah, my friend, like has gifts, and we were having a conversation, and she was saying, like, she just paused, and she was like, I just saw a gold ring.
Well, my first thing, I guess, because that could be a lot of things, but from your friend's point of view, I feel that the gold ring is protection for her. Okay, so if she's seeing that, she's being protected for some reason. I can't explain to you and tell you exactly, but she's being protected by a gold ring. I believe it's not just a ring on your finger. I think I'm getting a big, yes, absolutely. I'm seeing a big circle. She's in that circle, bring whatever she's going through right now. Let her know that she's being protected. It's a big ring. It's not a little ring from a finger.
With all the guides you've seen already today in the studio, Elizabeth, Alfie, the woman standing over in the back, do they talk to each other? Are they separate? Are they all hanging out saying, hey, I got you all here?
No, they got our back. That's what they're saying.
But they're all here together.
They're all here, just like we've accumulated. There's people in the studio that I'm meeting for the first time, but there is a connection. I'm going to say this again, and I often say this, it's not coincidental, but it's not coincidental from the spirit world. It's not a whole lot different. They connect with each other, and they know that we're here, and they're getting pretty known now with the Brooklyn Cafe, okay? So they're accumulating here, and you can say, you know that, Dawn. They come here. So it's not necessarily that they know each other, but there is a vibrational energy that brings us together. And that's what's happening in the studio. What we put out, we bring in at our energy level. So it's the same in the spirit world. They're bringing in what they are at the level that they're. It's not a whole lot different over there.
And your guide, Aldo.
Yes.
He's with you as well.
He never left me, Dawn, as you know. This was my guide that materialized here. Is he with me all the time? I can't tell you that he is. He was with me all the time in this lifetime. He has work to do, but he's never left me. All I have to do is, Aldo, come in, and he's here. So we know that.
And does he help you guide? We can all talk to our guides?
Absolutely. The main thing is you need to believe this. If it's around, and I do believe it, and I was stubborn in the beginning, but I was given so many messages. Once you start to open up and you believe that there's a little more than just what we're doing here on this lifetime here, you'll be surprised at the messages that we get. Trust your gut, trust your own intuition. I'm no different to anyone else. I'm here to give the message, and I'm happy to do that, and I will continue to do that. But just open up. Anybody that's listening to this show that's in the studio, it's not coincidence. You've been brought in. We hear that law of attraction, and you know this more than anyone, Dawn, that people that have come in here have been in this place at the right time. We prove that, and then we'll continue. So no one here is here by accident.
Talking about the spirit guide, and you said that everybody travels with the same people all through the lives. They're always the same. They're always traveling. They're always soulmates or whatever.
Yes, but we add to that, and we're not always. I mean, that we can skip lifetimes. We have a soul family, but that's not just in. We have other people that we accumulate, just like we accumulate friends here. They come into our life. It's not just that family. We're always adding to it. Sometimes they come in and reincarnate in our lifetime, sometimes not. But we add to that all the time.
You don't lose any, really. I mean, they
No, we never lose anyone. They may not be with us in a particular lifetime, but they are there. That's our soul family. But that's not, it adds up. There's more people in our soul family all the time. As we meet people here, we feel connected to them, and then they continue in our soul, what we would call our soul family.
Did you hear Eve's guide with another message of growth?
Do we? I'm
Do you
sorry.
hear Eve's guide telling you something more about growth? She's in the back.
Right here.
Okay, I think I need you to ask me the question because they're with you, and although Dawn started it, which is great, but I need the question from you.
Do you feel that the guides are telling me something about my growth in the spiritual realm?
Absolutely. And I could have said that with Dawn's answer, but I feel that it has more impact coming from you because they are with you. They are, listen, and I know that, I know that you can do this. Go with your gut. Know that they are. You're going through a little bit of should I not type of thing right now, I feel. But go with what they're telling you, okay? I feel that you should go with it from what I'm hearing. I don't know your situation, but I think you're on the right track. Does that make sense to you?
100%. Vanessa and I were just talking about should I or should not over lunch. And it's about a decision, and I'm kind of stuck in making a stance.
Okay, I'm glad that you validated that for me. Absolutely. I'm feeling completely, and I'm getting my goosebumps. Anybody that knows me knows that I get these goosebumps. Go with what you're doing. You are definitely, now that you have validated that, and they're happy that you did, and you recognize that, you are on the right track, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to take a commercial break?
Yeah, okay.
You want to tell them?
I'm still in my trance, although many people don't know that, okay? We're about to take a commercial break. I need you to tell them, Dawn, okay?
She'll be right back.
Thank you. This world, this life, this illusion. What is going on, we ask? What is happening? Why not take time and see what is happening? This world as we know it, it seems so real, and yet so far away from where we've come. Corruption, greed, anger, power, revenge. Please wake up. We can change what is around us. How, we may ask? Learn to go back to where we were. Then we will have the clues. Then we can change and go forward. Please take the time. Do not fall into the game which we have put upon ourselves. We can change. We can make a difference. We have the power, each and every one of us. Go in peace. Go with love. Go as one. Zena.
A true story, Call Me Zena, is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came to the U.S. in 1979. A mother of two and grandmother of four, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the third dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest in art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail how she's able to astral project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life's direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today.
You have been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Barnard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you could always seek me out for resources. Visit artbysallybarnard.com today. Now, back to the show. Well, we're back, okay? I'm back in my trance.
Okay, so it wouldn't be from a recent lifetime, though. It would, I mean, this outfit.
Okay, we were talking a little bit in the commercial here too, Sandy. Yes, no, it's not from this lifetime. It's someone that's with you, has been with you in many lifetimes, but did not materialize in this particular lifetime. But he never left you. And his name is Alfie, and I keep feeling that he's feeling his beard. Okay, that's very important for some reason. I don't know the connection with that. However, you will find that out. You will see someone that's feeling their beard. That's how he's going to show himself to you.
Sally, I got a question for you. I know I'm back here somewhere.
I see, well, I don't see you, but I hear you, Freddie.
You know, I was always led to believe, since I've been talking to you, the guys always give us a roadmap to learn a lesson. And sometimes I get confused because people then question whether or not they should follow that roadmap. So is the lesson to trust, or is the lesson to listen to what's right and wrong for oneself?
Okay, it's a little of each. Trust that you're hearing the message. However, again, and I've said this before, we do have free will here. So sometimes our gut will tell us something else. So in answer to the question, I'm just getting it's a little of each. If you feel comfortable with what you're hearing, go with it. But there again, it's not, they're telling me it's not always set in stone, if that makes sense to you. So if you're feeling that you're feeling something and you're going there and you keep getting obstacles along the way, then maybe we need to sit back and ask the question again. Our guides don't leave us. They give us what because we map out our life is a roadmap and we've mapped it out. But we don't always stick to it, but they seem to know more than we know because they're there and they see, it's kind of like what we have decided that we want to do. But and we have timelines here, so sometimes it changes a little bit, but always go with your first instinct. But if you feel that it's not, you know, going the way that you feel that it should be, step back, just like you would, you know, just say, I need time to think this out. And then give it a day or two. There is no time but in our time, and then re-ask the question. Does that make sense?
It does, but let me give you then my specific question. That's the setup. Here comes the specific question. Next month, I'm undertaking probably one of the most difficult venues that I've ever done in 20 years of doing this business. Simply because I've never done this before. Simply because I've never worked with this particular piece on the outside before. There is nothing familiar about what I'm about to attempt to do next month. But I was told to do it because it will lead to bigger and better things. So my question to you is, do I just do it and trust that what I'm doing is correct? Or do I sit back and question whether or not I should do this?
Okay, my first instinct is to sit back and question it, Freddie. Don't jump into it. I'm not saying it's wrong or it's right. I don't know the answer right now. But I need you to take your time with this because it's a very, very important decision, okay? I feel, my first gut feeling is to say you're on the right track. However, having said that, I need you to take your time to analyze it, to sit back, discuss it with a few people. And if you still feel, your feeling will give you what you need. You feel that you are doing something that you need to do at this particular, it's like you're at a crossroad. And it's really important, this crossroad. You're getting messages from this side and you're getting messages from that side. You actually need to interpret it yourself. So, and if I can help you in any way later on down the line, I will do so. But I feel that you need to think about this. Don't jump in. In other words, don't jump in. Does that make sense to you?
It's a little late.
Oh.
Because we're going.
That doesn't please me, but it doesn't upset me, if that makes sense to you. Okay.
Well, you know, but it comes to the fact of having trust in what I hear, having trust in what I feel. So the bottom line here is, if I'm going to be hesitant, then I'm never going to succeed. So you know what?
Okay.
I'm just going to do.
Okay. Okay. Actually, you've kind of answered my question for me to give you the message. If you've made that decision and you felt comfortable with it, okay, you're on the right track. You are. Don't doubt it at this point. I had not gone that far forward in that because I was at the point where you were making the decision. But now that you've told me that you have, I don't feel that it was the wrong decision, okay? Still go with caution. I'm not saying to you go full in with this, whatever it is. Go with caution, but I believe you are definitely on the right track.
Thank you for saying that because I just signed another 5 to do the same thing.
Well, I'm only the messenger, Freddie. I wish you the best of luck. I'm not getting too many bad vibrations from this, okay? So I feel that you are, okay? Just, having made this decision, and again, this is also up to us. If you doubt what you've made with this decision, guess what will happen? That doubt will come in. I'm going to tell you you've made the right decision. Go with that full stream, okay? And you won't go wrong, okay? Okay? I want to hear a yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because we bring forth, we are our thoughts. So you don't want to say to yourself, oh, should I have made that? Should I have not? I didn't know that in the beginning. You've made it. Now it will succeed. Just know that.
It's the same feeling I got when I first met you.
Okay.
And I said, we got to go.
Absolutely.
I had no idea who you were or what you did.
And here we are, one year later, Freddie.
Here we are.
Yep. It's all good from here on in, right? So that will be with what you're doing now. It's all good from here on in. Okay?
Can we use our psychic, we all have psychic abilities, you say. How can we use those gifts to help others?
Well, it'll come, it's a difficult question to answer, because if you're aware that you have these psychic feelings, I didn't know, but I'm giving people many years ago like advice and I wasn't sure. They won't, in other words, if someone comes to you, you're bringing them in through a vibrational energy. We are where we are on our vibrations. So if you have the psychic ability, we all have it. We just don't know we have it. Listen to that. So if you're bringing in a lot of people, say from someone here or someone there, and they're all coming to you for some sort of, quote, psychic advice, then you're a psychic and you're beginning to wake up. Give them your first intuition of what the question is. Feel comfortable with it. And I think this is basically what I did, and I just somehow it came about that I'm able to do this, which you are doing, you know that anyway.
But for other people, because they think a psychic is going to say, oh, this is going to happen on the 12th day of December, but it's not always like that it's not all the same for everybody.
It's definitely not, because actually, in answer to that question, there is no time on the other side. So we could say 2-3 days from now. That's our timing. It could be right away. It could be a year from now. I often tell people, if they say that they want something, be specific about it and say, don't just say, I would like this to come about. Give a time when you want. Say, I want this now. Or again, we can say a week from now. But it's very important to be specific, because they don't really know. There's no time on the other side. So just know, if you want something, say, I want this to happen now. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't happen, but at least you've put it out into the universe.
So follow up to Dawn's question, what if you meet somebody and you get a feel that you can actually do something with them? You can actually do either a show, or you could do something in the cosmos. But how do you approach that person without them looking at you like you're from another planet?
So what I feel that you're saying, let's say somebody, you say, may walk in here, or just...
Which happens a lot.
Okay. The fact that they've made that move to even walk into your studio, Freddie, there's a reason for that. I'm not saying everybody that walks in here that you have to carry on and have a type of relationship with what they're doing. But if they come in here and you feel good about that, this studio, and I've said this many times, is like a magnet. We're bringing people in, and I hope that you have said to me too, that since I've been here, more people spiritually, quote, have been coming in here. So go with what you feel, with that first instinct. But having said that, it's up to you. You can actually feel whether you're doing the right or wrong thing. The fact that they've come in here is a plus, okay? But it's not always necessarily something that you have to continue with. But they've introduced themselves to you. So there's a reason why they've introduced themselves to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I did a lot of reading on, all this stuff anyways, but when they say that when you come on this earth and you live a lifetime.
Hold the mic up.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then you go to heaven. I read that there's only this earth is when you come on. It seems like a lifetime, but it could only be like a day or a few hours. When you go there, heaven is so much different that it's earth is so short to heaven. You know what I mean?
It is and it isn't. We're here and we feel that it's a long time. Actually, it's very fast.
Very fast.
So when we go into different dimensions, even when we pass here, it's not, I mean, we can interpret how we want, and you're saying heaven, which is fine, but it's another dimension. So when we go there, we go as we leave here, where we go, where we're kind of where we understand, just like we do here. There are many people here that are on a lower frequency or a higher frequency. That doesn't stop when we go somewhere else. Time-wise, it's very fast. It's nothing. It's people say a blink of an eye.
Like a blink of
When
an
we're
eye.
on the other side, it's the same thing. I feel that we know we're more aware of where we are when we leave here, but we come back here, not necessarily here. There are many different places that we go. We go where we're meant to go, be it a lower, a higher frequency. We stay with our frequency. I talk a lot about frequencies and also about being positive. If we're very negative, we have a lot of lessons to learn. So this is hard here on Earth. We come back and we learn here. It's a good place to learn, but it's not easy. So we're constantly trying to higher our vibrational energy.
When we come back, we're involved a little bit better.
Yes,
is what I think.
as long as we're aware of it. Otherwise, we come back just like how we were when we left. And I know that you understand this. So we're where our frequency is. So the best thing that I can give people that may be listening to this show right now, and I talk a lot about being positive, because that does bring your energy up. Even if you don't believe it, if you keep saying, I'm having a bad day, stop saying that, because it will higher our vibration, and say, even if you don't see it, I'm having a good day, because what we put out higher our vibrational energy.
Makes sense.
Let me ask you about dreams. If someone comes to you in a dream and they've already deceased, and you know it's a message for somebody else, but you don't really know what it means, how do you deliver that message? How do you interpret it?
Exactly what you hear in the dream, Dawn. There's nothing wrong with that. You can say to them, this came to me in a dream. It's up to that. At least you've given the message. If you're getting a message, it is a message. So exactly what you heard, tell that person, especially if it's a specific person that you're meant to give it. It's up to them how they interpret it. But you, as the messenger, have passed that message on. It's important because it takes for them to come through also. It gives them, if I can say how they may feel, a lot of pleasure to know that they've done that and you've passed it on. But it's still up to the individual where they are in their particular life, where they are in this lifetime. Pass it on, though.
Pass it on.
Definitely.
And do you think it's possible to heal old wounds and karmic patterns from previous lives in this life?
It's not only possible, it's very, very recommended that you do that, because we will, and I've mentioned this before on my show, we have, karma is a little different to how we interpret karma, but let's say we've had something that we're not necessarily in our last lifetime, that we're bringing in from a lifetime maybe what we would call many centuries ago. That will come back. It'll give it maybe a different scenario, but we don't remember it anyway. And it'll keep coming back till we correct it. It's important to correct it. But as we become more knowing in this existence of where we are, we'll find that it'll come through very strong. And when I say that, usually karma really hits us when it's family or it's somebody that, you know, that it hurts. Although that sounds not nice to know, but we're more we want to wake up to this. So if we feel that we're meant to be doing something, it may be from a previous lifetime, but listen to it, go with it, and try to correct it, because it will continue in different lifetimes and different scenarios, but it will still continue.
How do we identify the messages that we're supposed to fix?
We don't really, we do, but we don't know. If it feels that we're doing so, if we're getting karmatic, something that's happened that we need to correct, and this can happen in one lifetime, we'll get a scenario. Let's say somebody we meet, and we meet someone and they have certain characteristics we don't like. But if we don't correct it, most of the time, let's say for me, it would be a man that's doing something and I go, okay, this is not for me, but I haven't corrected it. Normally that same scenario will happen with the next person. It's trying to wake us up to try and change this. It may not even be that bad, but it's something that we need to correct. So it'll keep showing up in a different scenario, but the same theme.
As far as the things called the crown chakra, what causes like you having headaches constantly, but it's nothing like what you're putting into your body or anything. It's just like, it just feel like it tingles.
It's a message.
Okay.
It's something as a message for you, and I think you know the answer to that, okay? So if you're getting a headache, and when you're doing a certain, or you feel something, just know that you need to correct it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's important for you to know that, okay? Okay?
Sally, where does anxiety come from when it comes out of the blue?
Oh, it's a message for us. We're getting feelings that may have been left over, as I was saying, from another lifetime or from this lifetime. If you're getting anxiety from something that's happening, and it's anxiety that you feel that maybe you're not controlling it that well, you need to definitely look at that scenario and see what's happening, okay? Because it will keep coming back. As I said, karma keeps coming back. They say karma, and I'm going to say is a bitch, but it is. It'll keep coming back. I don't usually swear. Is that a swear word? I don't know.
And the triggers all meant, triggers that trigger anxiety all meant, again, as pathways to trying to figure out what it is that's going on.
Freddie, it will keep showing up. Maybe even not necessarily in this lifetime. And you know I'm a believer of reincarnation because I'm drawing from centuries ago. But that scenario, that situation will keep showing up until we correct it. And it'll keep going on. I mean, I can go on to many different lifetimes. I don't know, and I don't claim to know the end of our lifetimes. It's a whole different subject. But until we clear it, it'll keep showing up.
The picture behind you, you've painted, I call it the faces of the Renaissance.
Yes.
Do you feel that by painting those faces, it brings, I hate spirits, but the spirits or their voices to life to bring them forward to speak to you?
Absolutely, yes. And I didn't know that, but you know, everybody who's listened to my show knows about Aldo, who was my guide who materialized himself here. He told me these were, let's say, characters, because this is an illusion, but that's another long story. Situations of people, places, and things that I saw from the Renaissance, which I know that you can relate to, Dawn. So these are characters in my life that I'm getting memories of, but I was able to put them on paper and I was able to paint.
So people who purchase your artwork, would it resonate with them? If the picture resonates with them, would it help them touch within who they need to reach out to as well?
Absolutely, because again, I say there are no coincidences. So people that are attracted, I mean, and I have about 150 paintings, but people that are attracted to a certain piece of art that I have painted, that I'm not the only one, although I painted it, that is going to be able to interpret that. They can look at it, it may not happen right away, but that is not coincidence that they've purchased that particular painting. Yes, that's an interesting question, actually.
I had another one. Where can I guess this is the question to my guides, where can I go, or a specific place where I can hear them more clearly? Like, is there a specific spot where they right there all the time?
You have it right within you, okay? You don't have to go anywhere. Just sit at home and sit there and listen. Go with what you're hearing. You know, people say, and I'm in a trance right now, although many people don't really necessarily know that, but I am. But it happens. Just know that. So we can all do what I'm doing, but you have to believe that you can do that. You can do it. You don't have to go anywhere. Sit alone in a room, okay?
In your pictures, you have a lot personalities in a lot of different lives that you can, that, you know, you can see. I can see like different things that you
Right.
can relate to. It's interesting.
Well, yes, but for people that know my story, I started to draw many years ago because, thank you, I was getting messages to go and get, my first message was go and get some, I was astral projecting, and I was, this lady said to me, start to draw. So I started to, but I didn't know what I was drawing at that time. But as the years have gone by, and my guide, who knew that this had happened to me, showed himself to me, and we'll go into that another time, showed me that I was drawing from connections that I'd had from previous lifetimes.
It's interesting because you can see a lot of it.
Yes, yes. I'm glad that you're able to see that,
Yeah.
which I know you probably would. I knew from our little conversation.
How do people purchase your art?
I'm going to leave that to you.
Right
because
here?
I'm in a trance.
All right, so people can purchase your art right here through the Brooklyn Cafe Show studio, or we can get all the information on your website, which is SallyBarnardArt.com.
Yeah, Sally. Yeah, I
Sally
know
Barnard
this sounds
Art.
ridiculous, but I'm Sally. Artbysallybarnard.com.
Artbysallybarnard.com.
Yes.
And all the pieces will speak to everyone differently.
Absolutely. It's where they are in their, I mean, I have like 150 drawings, so, which again, we're going to put on display maybe a lot, where people will get attracted to that particular drawing. I was able to do this, and I feel it wasn't just for me, it was to be able to put out to other people so that maybe they could see where they have been, because certain people will be attracted to one painting, whereas somebody else might be attracted to another. I have enough for them to be able to see a lot of different things.
We need to bring more of your paintings in here.
I will do, Dawn, yes. Again, I know, again, you know, and you know me, you know that I'm in a trance, and I think the lights went out because we're about to finish.
You're good. What's the furthest time period you've gone back and time travel to, or that you remember?
Well, I actually have gone back because my guide was here, so I went back many, many centuries ago where I actually knew him. But the one that I remember most is the Renaissance from 1600s. I can definitely relate very much to that. And I did many drawings from that particular lifetime. I can go back further, but that's the one. We can all go into our lifetimes. Not everyone is important, but the ones that are important are the ones that we will remember when we start to open up. This lifetime I will remember because it's become a very important lifetime for me.
Will you help people go to the past lives through regressions?
Yes, I can do that. I can do that. I can give people messages. I don't often say what, but I would like to put that out there because I am here to help people. I can take people back into lifetimes. I can give them what is important for this lifetime, and I can put them on a journey where, because I believe that anyone comes to me, there's a reason that they have come to me, especially here at the Brooklyn Cafe, and I'm feeling that more and more. I don't talk about that much, but I feel that it's the time to start bringing that out, that I will put them as best I can from my guides on the right track.
And people can always reach you right here or on your email at Sally Barnard. Call me Zena, 1111 at gmail.com.
Yes, and the number here is, I got it in front of me.
888-994-4995, Studio A.
1 year, and I still don't remember that. That's because I'm somewhere.
And each week, before we wrap this up, we're going to continue to do these meetups each week, Sally, for your show at 2:30. So for anybody listening or watching, we will continue to do the meetup groups on 2:30 at Monday afternoons for Call Me Zena to open up any questions, and then you're available to do private readings after the show or to reschedule.
Right.
At a different time.
Yes. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think
Nice
we've
job.
come to the end. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Bye-bye. Coincidence or not, it's time to trust your intuition and knowings. Thank you for joining me through this journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. I'm Sally Barnard, and you can find my book, artwork, and contact through artbysallybarnard.com. Join us next week. This has been Call Me Zena.